needs to encash the check in that outfit. He needs
Exactly.
to punta sa bangko. Just show up.
Yun lang.
Just cash it in. Okay. Are you guys ready for the grand finals? Guys, we've had bands, we've had memes, we've had cosplay, but the one thing we're all here for is to see some amazing League of Legends. Are you ready?
One more time. Are you ready? That's it, they are.
Let's get this started. Ladies and gentlemen, the first seed from Thailand finished their playoffs semifinals 3-1 against the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. The first seed team of Malaysia almost went undefeated in the SEA stage of Globe Conquerors Manila. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Team Ascension Gaming!
Chugging down low, he forced to back away. G4 Gensekai forced to use the stasis, but G4 has the perfect timing there. Here comes the voyage, here comes the code up there. Then running him down, focuses on to Gary. Spike, Gary couldn't reach the line. It's go time. Oh, Rich runs a 3-man knockout. Forge shot coming in, wouldn't buy enough time. Recast, Aaron misses the Forge Cloud. Can they survive in time? Rocky going in. Oh, he can go for the quadra here, and he's gonna go for the wipeout.
It's gonna be Ascension winning game number 4 and this best of 5 series. They're going to the final.
Playing top from Ascension Gaming, we have Rocky.
And next, as their jungler, we have Lloyd.
Showing some love. Thank you, Lloyd. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, on mid, G4. Thank you, G4.
And next, as their AD carry, we have Nixar. That's right, give him some
getting
love.
the crowd. There you go. Show him some love, guys. Nixar making his way to the stage.
That's the way they say halika in the Philippines.
Yes, halika dito, baba.
There we go.
There you go. One more time, give it up for Nixar. And now playing support, we have Rich.
You know, Ari, these professional players, when they enter, their calm is bliss. They try.
Look at that.
Thank you very much, Rich. And as their substitute, we have Sun. And Sun is pretty serious.
Yeah, look at the look. So much focus in the eyes.
Focused, that's right.
That's right. Thank you, Sun. Their coach, we have Rex. Coach Rex coming in, looking very fashionable. You got the plays in the book right there, book of plays, you know.
It's got that bogey look.
That's right. Look at that, getting ready.
He's got that paper and pen
That's right.
in his hand.
You can see it. Coach Rex for Ascension Gaming. Ascension Gaming on deck. Give them a round of applause, guys, as they are your first for the grand finals of Globe Conquerors Manila. Their opponents
Our second seed from Thailand finished their playoff semifinals 3-1 against Resurgence, the sole representative of Singapore. The underdog going into the finals as Ascension Gaming technically beat them out 3-0 during our own local qualifiers for GCM to determine their reps. Now, here they are. Without further ado, Mega Esports!
Are still very low. Warlock goes straight in, tries to go for a spade, but still, looks like Mega, they're not done this yet. Secret very confident. 1, 2, 3, triple kill, baby. Warlock finding low health targets in from Bigatron Esports' side. Mega Esports trying to go for more spade instead.
It's going to be MG moving on to the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mega Esports, playing top, Warlock. Warlock feeling the crowd out, as you can see. Show him some love, guys. On stage, the grand finals. Look, he likes that. Very good. Going against their brothers in Thailand, but I'm sure Mega Esports is ready to put the fight to Ascension Gaming.
That's right, and I really like their logo with the elephant, because
Yes.
that represents Thailand for
That's
sure.
right. I love elephants.
Thank you very much, Warlock. And next we have as their jungler, let's welcome Heise. Going straight to his position. Thank you very much, Heise. And up next we have
On mid, Secrets.
I wonder what they're feeling right now. You know, going into the finals, we have how much? 5 million pesos up for grabs for the winners, and this privilege and honor to go into the Worlds.
Secret on deck. Up next, we have
As AD carry, Golden Feet.
Golden Feet adding to the stage. 8 carry of Mega. Playing support. What the Jess.
Thank you very much, What the Jazz. Good luck. And next, as substitute, we have Hammer.
Thank you very much, Hammock. And we have their coach, Sekalive. Beautiful smile,
Right?
Sekalive.
Good smile.
Yes, very nice.
Parang Filipino.
I can feel it. Well, Thailand, land of smiles as well.
I like his style of dressing.
Yes,
No socks.
I like that, yes. Going casual. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mega Esports.
That's right, Manila. Are you ready?
These are your grand finalists for the grand final of Globe Conquerors Manila! $100,000 to the champion and a spot to represent Southeast at Worlds. Good luck, Mega Esports. Good luck, Ascension Gaming. Guys, show them some love. Make some noise for our two teams.
Big round of applause, everybody. Show them some love and show them that Philippines knows how to cheer and knows how to show that love.
That's right. We're up for some wonderful League of Legends today for the grand finalists.
So I'm sure they're nervous right now
That's right.
because we're going into a best of 5.
Best of 5.
Once again, you know, lately we've seen some 3-0s, 3-2s, 3-1s. So
That's right.
let's hope that we'll see a really intense battle right now
I
for
think-
the finals.
I think we're all hoping for a best of 5 for the grand finals. So
Definitely.
I'm sure they're both ready to take the fight. Good luck, Mega Esports. Good luck, Ascension Gaming. Welcome to the grand finals of Conquerors Manila, ladies and gentlemen. And now we're gonna throw it over to the panel. Let's get this started.
Good luck and back to you, panel.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Globe Conquerors Manila finals right here live at the MOA Arena. So interesting day that we have. And by the way, we will be talking a little bit more about this finals right here. I mean, we have quite a bit to talk about. So before we get into the discussion, you know, a lot to discuss with these two teams standing here in the finals. We'll be introducing ourselves. I'm Arctic, your panel host, and of course joining me here is Amplifier, Asarai, and Chisto. Gentlemen, pleasure to have you here. And luckily enough, we're gonna get some great insight on the two teams that have made it, namely Ascension Gaming as well as Mega Esports. So before we talk about that, by the way, of course, we'd like to thank our sponsors here. Of course, Globe Conquerors Manila is presented to us by Globe and organized by Garena with our official hardware partner, Lenovo, powered by Intel, and special thanks to Bacchus Energy Drink. And this tournament, by the way, is under the regulation and supervision of the Games and Amusements Board. So there we have it, guys. Straight to business. Ascension Gaming, Mega Esports, two teams from Thailand gonna be juking it out. The pride of Thailand right there. going to be taking that one spot to represent Southeast Asia. But who will it be, of course, to convince our audience out here as to who they might want to root for? Let's go ahead and weigh in the pros and cons for both sides. You know what? Let's start off with the favorites here to potentially take it all the way for Globe Conquerors Manila, Ascension Gaming. Gentlemen, anybody like to start here?
All right, so I guess it's gonna be me because I was the one who watched live, or actually all of us did watch live Ascension Gaming's match against Kuala Lumpur Hunters yesterday. Man, oh man, they were just like a very dominant team. I mean, yes, it was pushed into a 4 games in a best of 5, but all those 4 games, you wouldn't really think of Ascension as a weak team. They were pretty good in terms of their macro, so that's something that you have to watch out. And honestly, the thing that you kind of want to focus on if you watch Ascension Gaming is G4 in the mid lane. Like this man, even though Ascension might be, in tatters, like they're on the ground, like rolling in the mud or something, G4 will always try to like stick his hand up right there and just try to, how do you say this, lift up his teammates. And he does that so well. I believe that was game number 4 or 2 with the Vel'Koz just disintegrating opponents left and right.
Those were some sick plays that he had actually yesterday.
Yeah.
Pretty darn impressed. And just generally through the line, G4 has been a constant. If anything, probably one of the more known players, even for those outside of Thailand. And people look out for. I mean, browsing social media, I've been seeing a lot of G4, Lloyd, as to who people want to see here in the Philippines that are watching live right now at Globe Conquerors Manila. So we've talked a little bit about Ascension Gaming. Let's go check out Mega Esports, the opposition this time around, because it's a little bit of a different dynamic here, wherein they've always been in the shadow of Ascension Gaming to an extent.
Yeah, that's actually a really great way to start it because, you look at Mega Esports, they were formed back in December 2017, and since then, they started their first split this year, and they've always faced Ascension Gaming and lost 3-0. So Ascension has really been the dominant team in Thailand. Nevertheless, though, Mega were able to secure second seed to represent Thailand here in this tournament. But like you said, their history throughout the group stages and through the semis definitely don't look like Ascension's. They went 5-2 during the group stages, and yesterday they went 3-1 against Singapore's Resurgence, but their performance wasn't as clean. When you look at the different lanes, for example, the solo lanes, Mega Esports laners aren't exactly shining as well as G4 and Rocky. You look at Secret, you look at Warlock, definitely they have some highlights here and there, but they don't look as clean with their play compared to Rocky and G4 in that lane. But of course, looking at their strengths, they actually showed a very different side yesterday, especially Warlock. Looking at him, he was usually playing stuff like Ornn, like Gnar, he wasn't really carrying, but yesterday we saw him on that Fiora, and he just completely popped off in those games. So it's really nice to see them kind of refresh us with a different kind of play style. What the Jess support of Mega Esports also really showed up yesterday. He was such a great playmaker for the team. He was on that damn catch. His Rakan games were absolutely great as well. So I'm really looking forward to see them using more of these strengths as we head into the games.
That said, with these insights on these two teams right here, I'd like to go ahead and talk about what expectations we have as these two head into the finals, because these guys have faced each other multiple times. They do come from the same country, so it's inevitably so that every time we have that qualifier which leads to the Southeast Asian stage, they would inevitably face each other. But like I mentioned, it's always been a constant shadow that Ascension Gaming casts on Mega Esports. But Chisto, given the odds here, like, how are you feeling about this matchup? What are your expectations in terms of the picks? I think this time around, we've had a number of days from group stage to semifinals to establish what has been the constant here at Globe Conquerors Manila.
Based on results, Arctic, it's very easy to determine that Ascension will be the definite favorites for this final best of 5, but they did show a bit of weakness yesterday. Note that they were undefeated in group stage. Yesterday finally dropped that single game. If Mega Esports are able to figure out what went wrong for Ascension and exploit it, I feel like that would be their key to victory here.
Historically speaking, I mean, we've been looking at past records between Ascension Gaming and Mega Esports. It's never really gone right for Mega Esports in terms of taking over that top seed constantly every single time. So do you think that there's going to be any avenue wherein this could be broken by Mega Esports? Do you think there has been some level of growth through this tournament where not only have they faced the top seed of Thailand, but all these different teams from Southeast Asia, which brings their own play style, their own type of flavor to Globe Conquerors Manila?
I feel like Mega Esports do have a shot at beating Ascension. We were not pegging them as a certain team to beat Ascension, but now that they are in the final, I feel like they're poised and ready to take their revenge over their rivals.
That's a pretty interesting storyline to look forward to, actually, Ken, Mega Esports. But yeah, let's go ahead and tackle a little bit more about potential champions that we might see. I think we have seen teams go left and right between the tug of wars of what they want to prioritize, or if they're lucky enough, if the team doesn't really like using a certain champion, which they're pretty much glad to take for themselves, sure. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about those champions, which might be a little bit of a fight over.
Yeah, I guess I can start that out. You know, we were looking at some of the games yesterday, and there were some common picks. For example, when you look at the support, Rich had played Tom Kench 3 times yesterday when they were playing against Kuala Lumpur Hunters, and then Mega actually had also played it twice. So I feel like Tom Kench is going to be something, either it's immediately banned out or they're going to go for it as a priority pick during the first phase of the game. And then we also look maybe at the top lane. I'm not sure if Rocky is going to be picking up the same carry champions. I think Fiora on Warlock is going to be something that Rocky will either want to take away from him, or maybe he's going to have his own counter pick ready for that Fiora as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna look at Ascension Gaming, I mean, in terms of the picks, I think it's gonna be more of just focusing on, well, not really focusing on, but like if you look at top, jungle, and mid, it's all gonna be, I feel like, either carry type of champions. Even Lloyd plays a carry style of jungler, so you always want to see him in terms of like maybe the Nocturne, which has been banned multiple times against Kuala Lumpur Hunters. For mid, I mean, we already know G4 has a vast champion pool in his arsenal, and the only way that he actually kind of faltered in the best of 5 yesterday with Kuala Lumpur Hunters is that match when he was with the Lulu. So he might not actually decide to go for that, still stick to, you know, what he is good at. But of course, it's still going to depend on what they decide for. And bottom lane, we were talking about this like out of the cast, or yeah, out of the analyst desk, where Nixar would only go for safe ADCs. So Miss Fortune is always a pretty good matchup there. Even though she falls behind, her damage really doesn't. So that's pretty crazy to kind of, you know, put all into the equation. And now this David versus Goliath type of match comes into fruition between Mega and Ascension.
Yeah, I definitely do agree that Ascension tends to play towards those carry type of champions, especially when it comes to the split push game. Part of the reason why Ascension Gaming went undefeated during groups and why they're so dominant in this tournament is they decide to put their solo laners, Rocky and G4, on these carry-oriented champions. Remember, their one loss, G4, was playing Lulu, so something that wasn't their style. So we do expect a lot of carries to come out on the side of Ascension Gaming.
Very explosive, you're going to think about it at the end of the day. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what the audience's reaction will be eventually, given that for both sides. But anyway, aside from that, let's go ahead and dig in a little bit further here in terms of particular matchups that we're looking at from top all the way down to the bottom lane. So let's go ahead and look at the comparison for top here. We were able to touch on it a little bit, but let's try to go a little bit more in depth just so that we could check out what the playing field could potentially be for the early game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in terms of matchups, we don't say it enough. You know, even during the semifinals, it was always looking at the solo laners, and I feel like that's particularly important for this matchup because when you look at Team Ascension, you know, even Nixar had said so during their interviews that they tend to play towards the top side. You know, you have Lloyd and G4. These guys, they were in Bangkok Titans before. They have the veteran experience. They've been to Worlds back in 2015, and so playing this top side, you want to look at Rocky and G4. These two, admittedly, even by KLH, you know, Kuala Lumpur Hunters had admitted yesterday, G4 and Rocky, they're the stars of this team, and that's where you want to look. So you have to look at Rocky and Warlock in the top lane. When you look at these two, Warlock before the semifinals yesterday, we didn't really think of him as the carry top laner, you know. So usually it was Rocky who was really shining, especially during those group stages up until semis. But now Warlock's shown a new side, so we're wondering, is this going to become a carry versus carry top lane matchup? So that's definitely one to look out for. Another one is also G4 and Secret. I think you guys want to talk about this one.
For G4 on his Velcro yesterday was very, very amazing. You always praise G4 for having a massive champion. It's a champion ocean. Basically, that's what G4 is doing. But as for Secret, we praise him for his rise, but just his rise. I feel like it's a champion that Ascension Gaming won't allow him to have once we arrive to pick in ban phase. So I'm expecting new picks from the mid laner of Mega Esports, and I think he really needs to show us what else he has if he wants to match up well against G4.
You know what I find a little bit of a constant here is that there's been this heavy emphasis. A lot of our discussion whenever we talk about Mega Esports or Ascension Gaming does lean towards top, does lean towards mid. There's not really as much spoken of when you look at bot lane, but I think with very good reason. Anybody want to tackle why we don't really talk about as much towards bot side?
Yeah, I guess when you look at the bot side of both teams, especially for Ascension, you know, they admit to themselves that their playstyle is really playing towards the top side. So bot side kind of has to adjust in terms of the draft. You see Nixar and Rich, they're kind of just playing safe. That's why Tom Kench is taking 3 times. You see the Misfortunes also taking 3 times out of 4 games. They're really just trying to, you know, stay safe during that early game, go for the mid game once they start going for the rotations, and then go for those team fights. So they really want to play safe. On the side of Mega, Golden Feet actually plays quite similarly. If I remember correctly, he had played a lot of safe AD carries during the group stage. He played Ezreal a couple of times, so they also kind of play similarly. I guess that's actually interesting as well, because when you look at Ascension, if they're going to be playing to top side, maybe a potential opening for Mega would now be the focus on the bot lane. Maybe you want to get Golden Feet and what the Jess going so that you can kind of play on the other side of the map and get Golden Feet going, because we saw with the Jess, he definitely has the potential to make those plays. So if you can get Golden Feet going in that bot lane, maybe that's a potential opening for Mega against Ascension.
Yeah, I actually want to add on that, like, the match, again, I just have to go back to this, the Kuala Lumpur Hunters versus Ascension one. The part where you saw Kuala Lumpur Hunters kind of have like that edge against Ascension was when they actually left the top lane, with that match between, that was Rocky versus the top lane of
Shiro.
Yeah, exactly. And they just kind of focused on the bottom lane where they just forced out Nixar as well as Rich every single time. And then they had this small window where they kind of had that advantage. They just kept getting objectives and whatnot, even though Rocky went to a point where he was split pushing. That was a little bit of the, I guess, glimpse of a way on how to kind of break this type of, let's say, unbreakable playstyle, but not really, of Ascension.
Amplifier did mention that the bot lane was played fairly similar, but I feel like there's more versatility when it comes to the bot lane of Mega Esports. I feel like both what the Jess and Golden Feet can play a bit more aggressively compared to Nixar and Rich with picks such as the Rakan and the Jin. So if they are able to pull that aggressive style of play, I feel like that could be their edge over the bot lane of Ascension Gaming.
So there you have it, guys. We've heard from our analysts right here on what expectations we have for this finals. But what I've been really expecting, of course, is, as usual, towards the end of our analyst desk, our predictions between the three gentlemen right here. So, guys, Amplifier, I'm going to give you a break this time around. We're going to start towards the end of the desk. Chisto, who do you think is going to be taking game one for this best of five?
Just game one.
Yeah, just game one for now.
I'm gonna say Ascension Gaming for game one. I feel like Rocky and G4 are just way better solo laners than Warlock and Secret. Not that they're not that good. I just feel like Ascension Gaming solos are better, so game one Ascension Gaming.
Asarai.
Can I ask, like, do you want the anime version or the non-anime version?
I'd love the anime version anytime. I think we need a little bit of that here at Globe.
All right. So here it is. We were talking about a while yesterday. If Warlock, kind of evolves and becomes the Dark Warlock, then I'll go for Mega, because, I feel like if Mega does have that Dark Warlock, he will have the power of God and anime on his side. Yes.
Oh my god.
So it's all, consequential, but yeah, Mega if we got Dark Warlock.
Okay, Amplifier. Okay, take a moment to breathe, man, before you
I don't know how to follow after that one. No, but yeah, I mean, it's just so. I mean, you look at the matchup, right? And we've said, ever since the beginning that Mega, they've been the underdogs, and I think because Mega hasn't faced Ascension in a while, right? They weren't in the same group, and throughout semifinals, it was just kind of them looking at each other's games against each other. I feel like Ascension will definitely take game one. I feel like Mega needs time to sort of readjust to how they play against their fellow Thailand team, and then maybe as the games go on, that's when Mega realize what kind of playstyle they want to play against Ascension. But I definitely think Ascension are going to win game one.
Interesting spread right here from our analyst desk. So let's go ahead and see whether Ascension Gaming or Mega Esports will be taking it for game number one. We'll be letting Vulcan as well as Riku take the charge to bring the action on the Rift. For the meantime, once again, thank you, gentlemen. Amplifier, Asarai, and she's still giving their insights. Once again, I'm Arctic. This has been the analyst desk for the start of our finals. We'll see you guys on the Rift for now.
So thank you so much for that, Arctic, and we welcome everyone watching right now at Manila Beach Arena to finals of the Globe Conquerors Manila. My name is Vulcan, with me is Riku, and then we will be your shoutcasters for game number one.
Yes, so excited for this grand finale, because it not only it is the grand finale, it is a rematch between Mega Esports and Ascension Gaming. Imagine, it has been a trend of a 3-0 every time Mega faces Ascension Gaming. So the question is, will this be the time where Mega overthrows Ascension Gaming's streak?
I mean, when you talk about how the finals, the semifinals turned out, you gotta hand it to Mega Esports. They really dwelled it in. It lasted on the 4 games, but you also have to take credit to how they came this far. Ascension Gaming again is the first seed from Thailand, whereas Mega Esports will be the second seed. So I think for our viewers out there in the YouTube or Facebook, they're in for a treat here because you're gonna be experiencing, in a way, we did say it before, a mini rematch of what happened in the Thailand region.
Exactly. During the very last TPL grand finale, it was also Mega as well as the GCM winners bracket as well. So this will be another third time for them to face off. And what we've seen from Mega Esports so far is that they're very good in adapting to what is needed as the series progresses. So I feel like this best of 5 has a lot of room for growth just in case the game number 1 doesn't work out so well.
And the analysts just talked about it. What's their mentality? What's the strategy? The trend going into this game 1. But as we always say in the caster side, it all comes down to execution. But before we go there, we need to deal with the drafting phase. Ascension Gaming on the blue side versus Mega Esports on the red side.
Honestly, not very surprised with the Pike ban here, as Rich has been super effective even before during the GCM qualifiers for Thailand. And one of the key picks for sure would be one of those flex picks for Ascension Gaming, whether or not they get the Camille for that top and jungle flex or the Rise for top and mid. There's a lot going on for the drafting for Ascension Gaming during the past few games you've seen, even from group stages. So there are also other picks that we haven't seen being picked. So I am really expecting a lot of surprise picks here and there.
One thing that did slip through the drafting phase is the Rise, and they immediately are prioritizing it right now onto Ascension Gaming. We know both of these teams like to use the Rise champion, so let alone Ascension Gaming on the blue side, they immediately take it away. But for Mega Esports, yes, we know the recon from what the Jets there, that is going to be a respect ban, but we know that during the journey, the trend in the playoffs, Talia has been banned on most of the time, but now we will be seeing Talia played for game 1.
That's how confident Ascension Gaming is, and as well as they are fine with securing the Rise as well. Tom Kench is one of the most primary contested picks as well on that support side, but looks like they're going to be settling, not just yet, but Shen has been played as well before, and Rich and What the Jess has been super effective. But we'll have to see if whether or not Tom will be picked in this second phase, as it can be flexed by Rocky and Rich as well.
I think they're gonna go for it because you're seeing in the marksman pool that we normally see Tom Kench and Jin being paired commonly together here. But for Ascension Gaming, you immediately see the jump onto the jungle side, answering the Talia jungle from Mega Esports. So phase 1 will end here with D. This is gonna be a hopper, or will it be a lock-in?
Interesting. Normally, Ascension Gaming secures their AD carry for Nixar immediately for the Misfortune, one of his most comfort picks. But in the end, it's one of those things where Ascension Gaming, even though the bot lane doesn't work out so well, it's all when it matters, when G4 manages to secure a carry laner for him to be able to, you know, do his thing in the late game. We have seen numerous times one of his very best plays was at that Vel'Koz, but we'll have to see. Golden Feet, super effective on this Kaisa yesterday against Resurgence. Come late game, he has no fear whenever he tries to dive in and eliminate the squishies.
I mean, you see the Trundle, the Tom Kench, so why not get attack busters such as the Kaisa? This concludes phase 1. We are now jumping on to the second phase of the ban here. Mega Esports starting things up with the Varus. I won't be surprised to see more ADCs being pinched out. Some of the things that are available right now that Ascension Gaming can pick up is the Jhin perhaps, or also the Astral that is still left open.
A lot of things could be selected for Ascension Gaming, but we're opting here for the top lane bans. So I kind of wonder what else they're gonna eliminate for Warlock here. I mean, Fiora was super effective, just as the Analyst desk has mentioned, against Resurgence. It's one of those things whereas Warlock shifted into this carry pick instead of the Ornn pick, and it's one of those things that Ascension Gaming should watch out for. But we'll have to see. I mean, they did It's a Yasuo pick. It's a Yasuo ban rather.
It's actually going to be a Yasuo ban. That's going to be surprised. We haven't seen a Yasuo ban throughout the playoffs. There looks like Ascension Game is going to be giving maybe a free ban to Mega Esports. But take note, at this point, MG, they're thinking top laner is missing so far. The Ornn has been banned out. So you talked about, let's say, Warlock's Fiora. Is going to pick it? No, it's going to be a blind pick to a Gangplank.
Gangplank, that's very, very interesting. It has been used at the semifinals as well. So I kind of wonder what the trend is going to be for the mid lane for Mega Esports, because one of the key things here for Mega is having all the comfy picks for Secret, most especially. And Ryze has been taken out of the table, but Zoe has been one of those common things that have been picked by Secret before, but we'll have to see for Ascension Gaming as they lock in this Gnar. I believe it's a very good matchup against the Gangplank.
And now we're actually missing something interesting here. The Marksman still not yet being picked by Ascension Gaming, but do you think we're going to be seeing a Marksman here? We do see some trends throughout the playoffs and the group stages, but looks like, yes, as I said before, the Jhin has been left open, but the Ezreal has been banned. So Ascension Gaming hovering on the Jhin. Last slots here, 0 seconds left, and that is a lock-in.
We'll have to see as they're hovering, or rather, yeah, they're hovering over this Ari pick, which has been picked at the semifinals as well. Could go, it will definitely go bot lane, or Cassiopeia mid lane, perhaps.
I think we can also expect something from here, maybe
Yes.
a mid lane, top lane, but we know for a fact that Warlock is going to be going for the Gangplank in the top side, and with everything on the screens right now for you guys to see, we are going to be seeing a standard legacy type, maybe a throwback towards the meta before. And this concludes Game 1's drafting phase.
I did mention how they expect a lot of surprise picks coming from this grand finale, because Mega Esports most especially, want to catch Ascension Gaming off guard. And Cassiopeia, I believe, wasn't picked at all by Mega Esports during the group stage phases and as well as the semifinals.
I mean, you're seeing a rise in the side of Ascension Gaming, the mid lane for G4. So we know that he's going to be picking up tier, so why not match the rise tier with their own, with the Cassiopeia? So I think the players are ready. We have seen the drafting phase. The coaches right now going to the center stage to shake hands. And this will start the trial. Who is going to be worthy to represent Southeast Asia in the upcoming Worlds and live at South Korea? We'll see here. Game 1 will determine the pace and how things will go.
I'm so interested how this will pan out, because Haise and Natalia, obviously one of the key things that made things work during the series at Resurgence, using that Weaver's Wall effectively to catch people off guard across the map and making proactive plays. Mega Esports is the type of team, based on what I've seen yesterday, that tries to warm up first, read the opponent, read the series, read the whole game, and then adjust accordingly to what is needed. And this Talia pick being first picked during game number 1, which could mean that, yes, we got to win this just to keep our momentum.
Okay, we're gonna be seeing all that. We're gonna be seeing all the planning here, but for the viewers just joining in right now, on your screens is a summary of the drafting phase for Game 1. Ascension Gaming on the blue side versus Mega Esports on the red side. We are now ready to load up the Summoner's Rift, but don't forget, let us know in the YouTube chat, who are you rooting for? Hashtag ASC win and hashtag MG win. And also, for our online viewers out there, why don't you all share the stream with the hashtag Globe Gaming, hashtag Globe Conquerors Manila, and of course, the reason behind everything here, the trial, hashtag Road to Worlds. We are ready for Game 1. See you there. Man, Game 1, I wonder how it's going to turn out here, but you know for a fact that the crowd loves that best of 5 series. What a way to end the GCM. But let's see how Ascension Gaming will play out their late games, because we are going to be seeing double tier champions on each side.
Indeed, I'm so excited, as both of these teams have drafted a very heavy cross-map play potential composition, which which is one of the things that they could utilize to get ahead. Tom Kench for the Abyssal Voyage, as well as the Realm Warp from G4. So a lot of cross-map play to gain the numbers advantage, burst someone down, and get an objective, or yes, get an objective.
And we know that for Ascension Gaming, we've seen this before. For those who don't know just yet, you can see the Rise, you can see the Tom Kench. These are really commonly paired with Ascension Gaming for cross-map plays here, but Nixar, King Sambios, Colin Fee, just flushing him out to the riverside. Rich is right now in the scene, gets taunted right now by the Shen there, being locked down. Colin Fee onto the Tom Kench. Rich, is he going to be burning a flash here? But no! Mega Esports will stop there and go back to the blue side.
Indeed, and on the Mega Esports side, we do have the Cannon Barrage from the Gangplank, and as well as Stand United, Weaver's Wall. So a lot of, just as I mentioned, a lot of skills that can be utilized to respond quickly. So I'm very, very excited when the mid game comes for both of these squads, because one tendency that I see to Mega Esports when the series starts is that they tend to slow the pace of the game, and that's understandable, especially if you have a Cassiopeia and a Talia as well. So I'm pretty sure Heise would try to make things more comfy, and as well as with what the Jess on the Shen.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Ascension Gaming, they're going to be the ones to try and start things up, but you won't see them start anything unless they feel very comfortable. But right now, I can see that they're going to be starting opposite side here, but they're going to meet in our riverside. Skull Crab is going to be contested here. High says, zoning out Lloyd. He can't give up this Skull Crab. He's still staying inside the river. Meanwhile, in the top side, Rocky and Warlock already. It's not yet even 3 minutes, and they're already half low in HP. Maybe Warlock is trying to flush him out, but you can see that he is running the Undying Grasp.
Understandable, readying that early harass from Warlock, as Talia might rotate once the red buff has been acquired for herself. Heise will definitely, a lot of these junglers really like that level 2, level 3 gank once they get that red buff. So Lloyd is obviously matching this as Secret tries to zone him away.
Man, I feel bad for Lloyd. He but there is that ward getting spotted out by MG. Great ward there by Secret to just spot where Lloyd is. So I think the way that we may be seeing here is the focus right now could be in the top side river, but hang on. Bot lane, Rich, very low, he flashes away. Colin Fade right now on the next R, but he still survives. No ignite was burned there. Meanwhile, Heise flashing away, the shove does not connect. Lloyd getting an easy first blood, maybe. Heise with a smite trying to survive himself, throws it to man for the close call. It is the first blood going to Ascension Gaming, a close call for Secret.
Smart plays from Ascension Gaming. G4 did his job zoning away Secret just to make sure the cast wouldn't be able to respond and help in a 2v1 situation, and he did a good job at that as well. Cleanse wasn't burned as Secret is pretty much safe under their tower, and the damage isn't too much at this point of the game coming from G4. So very well played. First blood, well earned.
Well earned, but that's only going to Lloyd there. I would have wanted to see maybe G4 getting a slight assist, but that won't be the case here. Great pickup on to Heise. So this Talia a bit squishy in the early game, but now Lloyd, with the first blood, he immediately picks up the Tiamat.
Indeed, Mega Esports for sure, they want to slow this game down, as Rich would most likely be that person to relieve such mistakes or pickoffs because of that Devour. We've seen it time and time again, as Mega Esports might attempt to burst someone down with immense damage, combine it with the Gangplank as well, and just safely, you know, devour and make sure that no one dies and they just back away. Very patient, these two teams are.
I mean, when you talk about patience, yes, Ascension Gaming, they're really trying to steady themselves, but for Mega Esports, a small mistake, I think Lloyd will feel very comfortable going for maybe invades here, but right now Heise in the riverside, easy gonna be looking for a gank here, but there's that control ward in place. They will just try to alleviate some pressure in the bot side.
Definitely. Most likely, they really want a kill for now, as heal and flash has been popped off. But we'll have to see a rotation at the top side of the map.
Oh, Warlock! Ice Spiller, great Ice Spiller, forcing out his flash. Well played from Ascension Gaming. But for Warlock, Using a summoner spell there. Charlatan does connect onto the Shen there, but great. You did say before, the Devour from Rich will be the saving grace for the Jin.
Indeed, the stun lock coming from that Shadow Dash from the Shen is one of the things that they should watch out for, and I believe that Tomcat is going to help remedy that pressure. But so far, it seems to me that Heise isn't able to find what he's looking for, as a lot of vision has been scattered around the map from Ascension Gaming as well. Meanwhile, river coverage for Mega Esports as G4 will just safely farm. And we'll see, 1v1.
Oh, Secret kind of losing the trade there. G4 trying to push him out, trying to deny some waves, but this is why you don't want to give the rise to either teams here. You know, they not to really use it so well, but I think we are going to be expecting maybe a gank here. There's going to be a cleanse away from Secret. Trying to back away from Heise, but Loi's on the sea. Flash in! It's a mistake! What an outplay from G4! This is Ascension turning things around.
Great bait made. Lloyd was around, and even though some of the Q missed there, the flash from just to avoid the Talia knockoff was indeed a very good play, and therefore Secret had to suffer. Cleanse burned, flash burned, and a kill. That is a pretty good win for G4.
That was a bit aggressive, you would say. I mean, they're quite low. You're going for a flash in. The shot quite didn't make the cut, but now you're seeing Ascension Gaming going for the first Drake of the game. The Infernal Drake being started by Ascension. Pitch Black, trying to go for a blind. Heise on the scene. Is it gonna be a steal? Both have smite up. Who's it gonna go? Low, very low. Early smite for the heal. Is he gonna be taken down? Yes, he will. And final Drake will be going to Mega Esports. Cannon Mirage was used. Great zone by Warlock.
Interesting move from Ascension Gaming. I believe that was the right call. The problem was no one was nearby. Lloyd didn't have any mana whatsoever and only used the smite to actually recover. So with that said, Mega Esports definitely read it right and took advantage of that play. Very well done by Mega.
And for Mega Esports, starting things off with the first Infernal Drake is great. You get the added stats, but check on your screens here, the next Drake will be another Infernal Drake. I'm pretty sure that Ascension Gaming, they don't want to give away the second Infernal Drake to Mega Esports, otherwise they're not gonna have a good time come late game.
Indeed, I'm really expecting a very slow and steady early to mid-game transition. Most especially, Heise would like to get more ganks in the short lanes as much as she can, or he can rather. But at this point, we'll have to see. Lloyd has been making the plays so far in terms of ganking and relieving pressure from across the map. And even though there's so much aggression at the bot lane, which has been a trend because one of the what do you call this? One of the things that you could take advantage of in Ascension Gaming's, dynamics is the bot lane with Nixar. Even though other teams have been taking advantage of this, come mid and late game, G4 and Rocky has been one of the biggest problems to face whenever they try and group up.
And not to mention, check out how Ascension Game is playing, especially G4 picking up a very early threat thanks to that kill. So he, in a way, can really move things around against Secret. He kind of is slow, can't buy boots there, but check out bot side with the Jin prioritizing movement over damage here. Meanwhile, Golden Peak going for the BF Sword Rush.
Indeed. What the Jess already reached level 6. So if ever Talia decides to become very aggressive, I can imagine that it could be utilized just to try and make a pickup. But so far,
is this good? Stan United is up. It's coming in. Reverse wall also. 3v1, but what a great shot. Denying the engage. Rocky flashes out. Denying the re-engage from Mega Esports.
wow, these two teams, again, so playing very, very well, predicting each other's movements, and just in time, because Rich is not level 6 just yet, but Stand United has been popped off, which means Kaisa is left alone. Shen has to walk back in lane, so the pressure is back on the bot side in favor of Ascension Gaming. We'll have to see if they manage to get some chip damage on that tower at bot side, but so far you can see so much priority here for Mega Esports in terms of vision here in that riverside near the dragon, but meanwhile lots of control wards for Ascension Gaming on the top side of the map.
In a way, we did see how the Weaver's Wall went out for Mega Esports on the top side. I think they want to go for a hard engage, but kind of a wrong timing there. The taunt didn't even connect. So MG still feeding each other out. What's this? Abyssal Voyage is available. They're gonna go in with a Trundle. Curtain Call is up, teleport coming in, Golden Feet going for the brush side. Water just getting slowed by the Petter. Cannibal Rush is there, Water just exhausted. It's gonna be a 4-man pile up. G4 alone, Realm Orb in and out. He rejoins his teammates in the bot lane. Ascension Gaming with a pick up there onto the support of Mega Esports.
Will they fast push this bot side? But that was pretty smart. Meganar just popped off at top side, and again, no CC you could actually offer to cancel the TP on towards bot side. You're against the gangplank, so good job from Ascension Gaming on that Meganar timing, and they managed to secure a kill. And at least no chip damage on the turret at the top side of the map. That was a mouthful.
Not too much aggressive there, because you can see how things are being played out in the bot side. You can see a lot of focus there because, like I said before, guys, you can see on your screens here the Infernal Drake. The next Drake that's spawning right now, you know that Ascension Gaming, they don't want to give it away, so it's going to be spawning in 1 minute and 43 seconds here. I'm pretty excited to see how things will pan out. Is it going to be a steal again, I wonder?
We'll have to see, because earlier Lloyd tried to get that Infernal Drake alone, but I guess this time around it will be a different story. One of the things that we did notice when we see Mega Esports fight is that they tend to focus on their lanes and then just settle for with their enemy getting the dragons. But this time around, it's a different story. They're on red side, and now they're very proactive in making sure that they get these early leads, especially it's an Infernal Drake.
I mean, 1 minute left there is gonna be okay. Ascension Gaming is actually the one to push it in there. We did see maybe we were gonna be expecting a teleport play, but that won't be the case here. Meanwhile, looks like Lloyd is not gonna be waiting for that. He's already starting in the Rift Herald side. Heise, great control right there. Immediately spots out the attempt coming from Lloyd.
Indeed, as we will see, a sort of good, just gonna kill some wards at this point.
Deny vision, try to keep them in the dark, and also this is actually what we saw during the playoffs. Not to mention how the group stage is planned out, because you can see these teams. They know each other so well that, yeah, we're used to playing against each other, so you can expect that they have somehow of a similar playset, but at the same time, same thought process. I mean, if you're gonna go there, I'm gonna be there. You can see how they're moving very identically.
Indeed, you can see the investment in Mega Esports here for their vision control, making sure that the Infernal Drake is protected, or they can take advantage of their spikes once they want to contest a certain objective. And they're pretty good at countering dragon dances, allowing whatever team is starting the dragon and just take advantage of how low their HP are at that point. So we'll have to see, as they're I'm really expecting a slow laning phase, Vulcan.
I mean, I'm gonna be expecting, yes, that's right, because you are seeing the rise on the tier, but looks like here it comes. Lloyd starting the Infernal Drake. G4 waiting in the control war side. Here comes the pickup, quite low. It's gonna be rooted down. What a pickup! Heise gets deleted from the river. Secret right now onto the G4, but too late. Ascension Gaming takes away the second Infernal Drake. It's not it over. Secret. Curtain Call death's happening right now. Force Strike connects, but he still survives. So Ascension Gaming, we're done. We're through with the Infernal Drake area. Let's try moving towards the Rift Herald.
The timing was perfect as well. Bot lane for Mega Esports, believing what the Jess just went back to base, and it was the perfect time to take the Infernal Drake. And at that point, it was ASC, Ascension Gaming, reading Mega like a book, anticipating that probably there's gonna be a gank at topside.
Pillar Nard to the wall, and a double triple stun! Stun United won't be enough! Cannibal Rush was used. Heise with a mean response with a reverse wall. What the Jets! Right behind Lloyd. Rumble is there. G4 does not make it away! He is low, flushing over the wall. That was a very, very close call for G4. He was forced to use double summoner.
Wow, imagine that. If he didn't have Flash, he would have died there, but good collapse from Mega Esports, just trying to...
Ooh.
Nice steal.
That's what you want to see, a steal by Heise. Then 9 up blue buff. And right now, Mega Esports, okay, we lost members, we're done here. Let's try and take away the or rather the first turret, because they have taken away the Infernal Drake. But what's this? Abyssal Voyage. alone. Looks like there was something funny happening in the bot side. But check out the kill score on your screens here, 5-1. A slight gold lead, not too much. It's still in anyone's game here, a 2K gold lead in favor of Ascension Gaming.
Indeed, Ascension Gaming trying to get most of the objectives so far. And again, from what we've seen earlier is that Mega would like to take advantage of the investment for Ascension Gaming whenever they get rotations to objectives. So they really want to do the punish play, which they are capable to do so due to the fact that they have Weaver Swell, Cannon Barrage, as well as Stand United. So it is totally fine for them to keep farming in their lanes and not being pressured to do something proactive in the map, because their scaling towards the late game is something that should be feared at when Ascension Gaming just looks at it in the future.
I mean, for Ascension Gaming, they're really looking at this in the long run game here, because check it out, Ascension Gaming, they wanted to get at least maybe the first turret. It's nearing the 17-minute mark here. We have not yet seen any turrets being taken down, but you can see Ascension Gaming trying their best to at least get some objectives. But looking at the Infernal Drake score, it's going to be equal. Their next Drake on your screens right now is going to be the Mountain Drake. So far, as you said, Rico, we're going to be seeing a slow laning, but it's only a matter of time. It's only soon that maybe, just maybe, that Ascension Gaming can pull the trigger here.
Yeah, imagine during group stages, our average time for matches was 25 to 30 minutes. And as we progressed throughout the tournament, it has increased so far, going over almost 50 minutes yesterday when Mega Esports fought Resurgence at the semifinals. But now we'll have to see, as there's an active play here. We're just gonna establish vision around the map as they time it well when the next Mountain Drake comes.
Check that out. Look at all the wards there in the Riverside. Mega Esports reading Ascension's movements. They will not fall for that trick again here. So, again, you can see a lot of wards invested in the bot side. Because, see, again here, you can see how Lloyd and Heiza was meant in the Riverside. But check out in the top side. We can expect maybe the first turret in the top side. A lot of pressure right now done by Rocky on this Gnar.
Indeed, as over time, there's a lot of vision at the top side of the map, which is probably one of the reasons why maybe Talia is having a difficult time from earlier. But then again, mid lane is where you want to look at. You want to shut down G4.
Oh, that's clever. Weaver Swell was used to just cut them off. But there will be the current call to try and slow down the push there. First turret at stake here. Ascension Gaming denying it. Heize being slow by the Ice Pillar. But this will just be it. Ascension Gaming won't go anymore.
Indeed, they're just going to respect that and back away as their attempt to take down that mid-outer turret. A lot of the members of Ascension Gaming was nearby, so Waves has been reset at the bot side of the map, which could mean the reason why they were able to rotate at the mid lane. But so far, chip damage is being slowly happening here at the top side, so Warlock would lose his first tower here at top.
I can see that Heise's right there, but he doesn't have his ultimate up. You would expect maybe Warlock would have an easy time against Gnar, but he is really going to be potentially giving the first turret if he doesn't do something here. That's why you can see a lot of movements from Heise. That's why the investment with the Stand United, especially right now, what the Jess has the Stand United up. We are seeing Lloyd putting a control ward there. This is pitch black for Mega Esports. They don't know what's happening. This will be his last attempt. Baron timer is 1 minute. Ascension Gaming not wasting time.
Interesting with a switch.
Abyssal Void cross my play. Warlock being knocked out. Cannon Barrage is there for the slow. Calls in the teleport. Will it be on time? Ice Pillar is there. He is left alone. Lloyd will pick him up. Right now, the Baron timer is 52 seconds. The Herald, I don't think that's going to be on the table for Ascension Gaming, but they want to get the first turret of the game.
Smart plays, timing the wave from bot side and switching it up. Now the ADC and the support went up top, gets a kill, gets a tower, and possibly even the Rift Herald. That's the reason why they've been lingering around the corner there, and Gnar could easily clear the waves down bot and protect as well. So Mega Esports, what they're looking at is probably a consolation prize, but due to the fact of the effective rotation from Ascension Gaming, Mega did not get anything.
I mean, I did say that maybe they were not going for the Rift Herald, but of course, if it's like this, give it away. 12 seconds left on the timer. They will just wrap it up before the Baron even spawns. The Rift Herald goes to Ascension Gaming.
Interesting, good timing as well as the Baron spawns are almost at the 20-minute mark. But we'll have to see as Mountain Drake, MG, or Mega Esports will gladly take it.
Great call. Rift Herald spawn in the mid side. Secret trying to go in. Ruse it. Oh, it's pinched in the ice pillar. But it's okay. You saw Rocky going from the back there. Water just pumps the station. Will he survive? Flashes over the wall. Rocky chasing man with a mega knock to the wall. That's an easy double kill for Ascension Gaming when the Rift Herald will take down the turret in the mid lane.
Mission accomplished, 2 members down and an outer turret at mid as well. Rift Herald being utilized just to distract everybody else from rotating, forcing them to mid, and immediately Realm Warp was used very effectively to cut the retreat and join Secret, and because of that, Ascension got a lot out of the map and their play, and as well as a ton of gold in their pockets.
So much room for Rocky to just go from the top to the mid lane without any trouble there. You saw how they were able to clutch them in the blue side, and now you were seeing the turret score here 2-0. I did say that both of the teams treasure the rise, but now they were forced to give that to G4, and we all know that G4 is really good on this champion. You just saw how much cross-map play, you did talk about this in the early game, that we're seeing here right now, almost 22 minutes into the game.
Indeed, especially if you establish vision as the game progresses, there's a lot of opportunities that you could utilize with that Realm Warp, aside from making picks off from the map, as well as taking picks on towards objectives. And one of the things that I really noticed from Mega Esports come late game is that they really like moving as a group, especially when they want to take a pick and establish a death brush somewhere.
I think they're going to be going for that. Who knows? I mean, the Baron is live right now. You can see that Ascension Gaming just invaded that side with their own vision. They're controlled and play same in the center of the river. So you know that Mega Esports, they don't like where this is going. You can see heavy focus in the mid lane here, investing 4 members. Meanwhile, in the bot side, Rocky, again, the pressure that he's on is Snar, getting another easy turret.
This is the time for Rocky to shine at this point, as he's going to continue pressuring Warlock. One of the key things that, you know, sent them to the to the finals rather. And with Warlock being, you know, leashed.
That's going to be a blast cone that Secret's going to regret. So he did not see G4 coming right there. Immediately chunked down to half health. Can G4 go for more? Secret trying to trade some damage. Meanwhile, in the bot side, Rocky trying to go for Warlock, but he does disengage with the Cannibal Rush. Uses the Scurvy for the heal. Here comes the Tomcat flushing in for the stun. It's going to be the Stun United. Okay, it's not going to come through. What the just could not respawn in time right now. That's going to be Ascension Gaming looking at the inner bot lane turret.
This is so perfect. The key members.
Oh, outplay happening. Secret pops the shield. Weavers will coming in. G4 very low. 2v1. G4 popping the shield there. Left alone. It's going to be flashing from Secret. Flash in from G4. Outplay. Deny. You're not going to get me just yet. Outplays the Cassiopeia.
Man, G4 is a master in the mid lane, and using that rise in time at the shields and the cooldowns, that was amazing to watch, and he really knows to play the matchup and as well as the rise. So at this point, what is Mega thinking? Because all their lanes have lost, and Rise could deal with the Kaz, and as well as the Gnar could deal with the Gangplank, and Mega is almost choked in every lane, and they're having a hard time getting the things that they want. But right now, I feel like they're gonna bank on Golden Feet come late game.
I mean, looking at G4's item, you can see the similarities, but note that sad for Secret, he can't buy boots because he doesn't have legs there. So you can see the threats, you can see the extra MR. That's why he was able to survive a bit more compared to the Cassiopeia. But did you see the aggressive flash in from Secret? You know he was going to go for it. But hang on, we are going to be seeing a replay of that fight.
Yes, here comes the replay as well. Weaver's wall was actually denied. I'm guessing that's a pillar just to shut down the Talia and force her back. They could have won if the pillar didn't actually try and deny the Weavers or the Talia to get to the cast. So well played by Ascension Gaming. Smart plays.
That feels very bad.
Yeah.
I mean, getting out traded by the Rise, this is why every time you see a Rise picked by Ascension Gaming, you know that the enemy team's not gonna have a good time. Check out the kill score there. It's quite dominating. But The gold lead is not yet that far ahead. I mean, okay, we are nearing the 10K with just 9K gold lead in the hands. Okay, not just, that's a lot of gold lead on the hands of Ascension Gaming with 9K. But take note that this is a scaling comp for both teams, but it's just that Ascension Gaming accelerated the game so fast in their favor with those kills.
Indeed, that is the reason why Mega Esports is having a hard time in this point of the game. So Baron is one of the things that Ascension Gaming likes to do, even though they're in the lead. Rebel Warp.
Coming in. What did... Oh, golden feed. Safety flash there. I thought it was going to be a re-engage coming in from what the Jets with the shield. Who knows? Death Rush coming in. Spots out. Reverse. Okay, the shove won't happen there. Meanwhile, for Heist, he does have the reverse wall up.